Good morning, learners. Welcome again to my vlog. For today's video, we're going to talk about how to compose a sonnet. So, a sonnet is a poem that always follows a set structure of 14 lines. It usually deals with one topic, but frequently presents different ideas of that topic. So, a sonnet has 4 stanzas. The first 3 are called quatrain. This is because they have 4 lines. And the last stanza consists of 2 lines, which is called a couplet. During the Renaissance, many suitors frequently wrote love letters in the form of sonnets to the woman they admire or fancy. As a result, many sonnets in existence deals with the topic of love. So a sonnet is an old poetic form. Its roots go back to 13th century, but it's still written by modern poets. So in making a sonnet, you have to do 3 things simultaneously. You cannot do one without the other. So you have to do all the 3 at the same time as you write each line. So those 3 are the following. Number 1, it has to follow a specific rhyming pattern called the rhyme scheme. Number 2, a sonnet is written in a specific kind of rhythm called the Iambic Pentameter. Number 3, depending on who you're writing for, a sonnet have rules regarding content or structure. Let's look at the first one, the rhyme scheme. The most common form of sonnets written by learners is the Shakespearean sonnet, sometimes called Elizabethan sonnet or the English sonnet. It has a form rhymed as ABAB, CD, EF, and GG. So this rhyme scheme means that all of the A lines rhyme with each other. Day, May, B for temperate, date, C for shines, declines, E for fade and shade, F for oast and grossed, and G for sea and thee. These words forming a pattern came from the end of each line of Shakespeare's Sonnet 18. Wherein the first quatrain contains the ABAB pattern, and the second quatrain contains CD, third is EF, and the last is a couplet which contains the GG pattern. Shakespeare did not originate the poetic form that bears his name. However, his evident mastery of the form prompted literary historians to name the entire subgenre after him. Another kind of sonnet often written is the Petrarchan Sonnet, or also called the Italian sonnet. Petrarchan Sonnet is named after an Italian poet, Francesco Petrarca, although it was not developed by Petrarca himself, but a string of Renaissance poets. Its first 8 lines are octet rhymes, and that contains the pattern ABBA, ABBA. The octet presents a problem or question. The last 6 lines or sestet can be any of a number of variations. In this poem, we are using CDE, CDE. But we can also follow the CD, CD, CD pattern. The sestet resolves the problem and question posed in the octet. The second thing that we have to remember in composing a sonnet is to have a rhythm called the Iambic Pentameter. An iamb is always 2 syllables together. First one is unstressed, the second one is stressed. It has a rhythm much like a heartbeat. There are 5 iambs in each line of Iambic Pentameter. So if there are 2 syllables per iamb times 5 iambs per line, that would mean that in a sonnet, there are 10 syllables per line. Every line should have this kind of rhythm. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. So kinda like the heartbeat. For example, along the dark the sun has shone. My love is like a stick of dynamite. And lastly is the content and structure. Originally, a sonnet is designed for adoration, to praise someone or something. So you could praise your special someone like your friends, parents, athletes, games, band, season. So traditional sonnet should praise, and that praise should fill up the first 8 lines of your sonnet. You praise the subject of your poem for the first 8 lines. But the third quatrain should have a shift in the tone or perspective. If you're talking about the many fine qualities of your friend in the 2 quatrains, in the third quatrain, you may give other qualities. The third quatrain is the opportunity to say something surprising or complicated about the subject. Look at your subject from a new angle. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. So in the final 2 lines now, you've come to your conclusion. These 2 rhyming lines called a couplet are where you bring your sonnet home. Give your final judgment on your subject, good or bad or whatever. Shakespeare usually would give some kind of surprise comment to his readers in the couplet. So yes, sonnet writing is a bit complicated, but it's a good start for beginning writers. So if you can put together the three things, rhyme scheme, iambic pentameter, plus a good and interesting content and structure, you must be proud of yourself. You have done something pretty smart and amazing. So the secret is to read, read, and read. You can write much if you read much. And so that's all for today's video, and I hope you've learned something. Good luck and happy sonnet writing!